And in a minute, I hope that people will start flashing up in that box and start saying, how you doing? We can see you. We can hear you.
But we are live or is only video?
Listen, that's my line. But right now, I believe is that we are indeed live.
Okay.
Yep. There you go. Hello, quality people. Marco GT5 is the first guy to let us know that we are in fact alive. Oh, now I'm just gonna call up the chat so that I can see it. Yep. Fellas is there. Daniel, how you doing, brother? Hope you're well. We will just make a little change here. Okay, turn that off. Ladies and gentlemen, we are live. And if you look at the top of the screen, I am pretty sure that you will know this guy. But even if you don't, it doesn't matter because I'm going to give him a little build-up, little intro. This man is the signature arm wrestler of a very, very traditional and long-standing arm wrestling nation. The nation of Italy. The quality beat. I also notice the setting behind him there. He's in the bedroom. Why, ladies and gentlemen? Because this interview is going to be intimate. This is going to be up close and personal with the gladiator, ERMES Gasparini. He may be the very best arm wrestler in the world right now. And in a very short period of time, this man gets the opportunity to prove that. As at the next event, at the end of June, he will contest the overall Open Championship of the world for the second time in his career against Levan Saganashvili. But tonight, ladies and gents, we're not going to be talking about that. We're not going to be talking about that match. We'll build up nice and slowly. Tonight's a little bit of foreplay, ladies and gents. We start with the background, with the origins of the gladiator, ERMES Gasparini. ERMES, welcome to the show, mate.
Thank you so much, Neil.
It's quality to see you. It's really good to get you on here. I know a lot of people will be really excited, mate, to tune in and check this out tonight. And we had an opportunity to speak before tonight's show to prep a little bit and just give you a bit of background. ERMES wasn't familiar with the format of the Deep Inside the Minds, but he's not a shy individual. And I'm sure we'll get a lot of great detail from ERMES as we go through. Just a couple of things for everybody in the chat. Tonight, we want to let the flow go pretty good. So we don't mind if you do super chat. But if you are going to ask a question, please can you keep it pertinent to what we're discussing? If it's something that you specifically want ERMES to talk about or have detail on, by all means, fire it over and we'll try and get to it. We don't want to be discussing anything about future matches and so on right now. This is very much about, here in part one, very much about the origins, the build-up, the background to this legendary arm wrestler. And that's really what we're looking to do. So, guys, pour yourself a drink, sit yourself in a comfortable chair, sit back, and enjoy a little bit more insight on ERMES Gasparini. Just to give everybody a little bit of a background on my introduction to ERMES, it was when he was a little grasshopper. Because
when you saw me first time?
Oh my God, you were very young. Very young.
Where?
In Italy. And don't ask me the year, but you were, I don't know, maybe, if I was taking a guess, maybe 7 years old.
The competition
was Italian Open. Italian Open event. Open competition over in Italy. Claudio Rizza's event over there.
Sì.
But you were, young boy. Many years ago. Who knew that you would go on to be what you are today?
Giovanni Nimi said this.
John Nimitz,
he said we saw this kid inside to everyone with his father.
Yeah.
And who knew to this guy the future will come a world champion like this.
Yeah, it's a wonderful thing, isn't it? Really, is when you think about it. You know, whenever we do any event, established arm wrestlers at any event around the world, there's kids there watching on the practice table. You never know. You never know. One of those kids on the practice table might be the man, might be the next.
One I remember very well. In the beginning, I fought with Pascal Girard.
Yes, the master. Wonderful arm wrestler.
And I won one time, and I lost the second time with him. And after the competition, he went to me very close, and he told me, "You remember this word, my friend? You will become a world champion in the future." And for me, I say, no, impossible, too much like this. Yeah, I remember a lot this part.
And you know, I'll tell you a little story, mate. So, Belgium, Rochefort, in Belgium, Willie Dinamostier, the late Willie Dinamostier, God rest him. His event in Belgium, he used to do it annually. And it was the late 80s or early 90s. And there was an event there, and your dad was
Rochefort, no.
Yeah, Rochefort, Belgium.
Rochefort.
Yeah. It was late 80s or early 90s. Again, I forget the year, but your dad competed in the 90 kilo class. I want to say Pascal was in the 75 or 80 kilo class. I was in the 85 kilo class. And we won our weight categories. And then we went into the open class. And we were looking around because you knew who were the top guys. And so first match was Pascal and your dad. And I remember thinking, great. I knew they would have a battle. And they did. So your dad, precursory footsteps, the same footsteps that you took with Pascal. He had an unbelievable war that day. Maybe a 2.5 minute match with Pascal. Your dad won at the end of the match, but it was very, very, very long match. And then they met again later in the competition for the third place. And they had another unbelievable war, and Pascal won. So they shared the result that day. But I'll never forget that. It was a great battle between those two guys, two fabulous arm wrestlers. One, at that time, signature arm wrestler of Switzerland, and your dad obviously was the signature guy of Italy right then. He was super strong. Prior to that, you had guys like Bruno Emanuel. I don't know what happened to Emanuel. Emanuel Bruni was world champion back in
he went in my house.
Very strong. So yeah, you're the next guy. Anyway, let me shut up and let's get into what we're going to be talking about. So to start things off, Hermes, let's talk about your sort of beginnings, your earliest memories of sport. Forget arm wrestling. Did you do other sports prior to arm wrestling? What were the first sports that you got involved in, mate?
The first sport I did karate.
Okay.
No.
Yeah.
For many years. I did. I was very, very, very young, 7, 8 years old. Yes, and I arrived to have the belt brown belt.
Wow. So you did very well.
Yeah. And but I had a lot of passion. I did many competition, tournament, and I won some tournament. And after this, after 7 years, I lost the motivation, the passion, and changed it.
Why karate, mate? Who got you into that? Was there a background of strength and combat sports in your family? Had someone else done
I don't know this answer, because I think some my friends from school they did this and did me too. I think, or maybe my father he wanted to know you want your kid he protected himself a little bit maybe
Sure.
is for this. Um, Yes, after this, I started a little bit to play football, but only 1 year, not much.
And
And
just for clarity for anybody in the chat, that's real football with a round ball, European
yeah,
football, not
yeah.
American football.
Okay, okay. Yes, it's
Ah, yeah.
football. And after this, I changed it. I changed many sports. I did uh, with the bike, in the street.
You did what? Not motorcycle though. You did bicycle.
Bicycle, yes,
Okay.
but
Wow.
only 1 year.
Was
And
this
after this,
distance racing, mate? Were you riding for like the Tour de France? Yeah.
exactly,
Wow.
exactly.
Very interesting.
Yeah, but I saw it was not my sport. Too hard.
What age were you
Really
when you did
hard.
the bicycle racing, mate?
Ah,
How old were you when you did that? When you raced the bikes? How old?
I think 13, 13
Hmm.
years old, 14, more or less. After this, I did box, but I had a problem here
Hmm.
because I punched too many times without the
Yes, without
straps
the
here.
wraps. Yeah.
I did this for 2 years, but in the background,
Hmm.
I every time I'm wrestling with my friends, every time, but not to start, gym, lift or some exercise for arm wrestling.
Did Massimo want you to do arm wrestling? Did he push you to do arm wrestling, or what was your first introduction to the sport of arm wrestling? What's your earliest memory?
My first competition, yes, yes, he pushed a little bit, of course, but not too much. No, like you need you must to do this sport, nothing like that. And I did my first competition 2009. I had 14 years old.
Wow. So you started early.
No, sorry, yeah, 40, 40,
Hmm.
50. And I lost another in 20 in 2000. No, sorry. The first it was in Valle d'Aosta, 2020. Sorry, 2006. The second, you remember they did a World Championship in Italy,
Yes.
2009.
Nine. Yes.
Nine, I had a competition in 75 kilo or 80, no, 75.
Hmm.
I had 16 years old or something like that. And I lost. I lost with Tom Holland, you remember?
Yes.
Very bad. And two times, two lost, finished the tournament immediately. My first real
So
competition.
for forever bragging rights, Tom Holland can say that he has wins over ERMES Gasparini in his first ever competition. That's wonderful. That's great. And Tom was in the chat earlier. Tom Holland was in the chat. I saw Lean Machine in the chat earlier, so I'm sure he's at home drinking a beer on that one. So
And after this, I started to train a little bit, and my first surprise, like crazy.
Hmm.
It was I had 17 years old. I remember very well. I went to in Switzerland to Pascal Girard. He
Yeah.
did a tournament, and I said I will do juniores, and we will see what will happen. Sometime at home I trained with Nicola Schivalocchi, with my father, but I never trained at the gym like now,
Yeah.
almost nothing. And I did the competition, and juniores I won very easily, but like nothing. And my father he had some problem in his neck, and he told to me, I already paid the inscription,
Hmm.
and you want to do this category, no? But it was 90 kilo senior,
Yes.
and I thought, why not? I can try. What change? I started, and I started to pull with everybody, but to win like nothing. Zero, really zero power from the people. The I remember the referee told like this. He don't believe it what he
Was
saw.
this one of the Italian like Caligaro? Was it one of
No,
the?
no, no. He
Ha ha.
died. He died. He was long
Oh,
hair with I don't know if you remember.
yes, I do remember. I do remember.
And I met Paul Maiden,
Okay.
and I won with him too, but very easily the first time.
Hmm.
The people can't believe what because I was skinny, 80 kilo with arms like this,
Yep.
like chicken. uh, and after this, I had not too much endurance. I had some hard fight with Paul Maiden again, and I did third place. And I remember when I was in the in the car with Claudio. He had very big car with my
Yeah.
father, Lamparelli, other athletes. I was like this all the travel because I was like it was impossible to me to think to have all this power,
Hmm.
And, and after this, I
I
proved.
just say, prior to that, obviously you're training with Nick Skivalocki, Nick the Quick. Shout out to Nick the Quick, the guy. He's very strong. At this time, Nick was solid, very fast, high level puller, 75 kilo puller, lightweight, but really strong. Obviously Lamparelli, strong guy. Your dad, very powerful man. Had they not, prior to this, when you were in training, pulled you to one side and said, "Look, Hermes, you're really strong." I mean, had they never told you that your level
No,
was very high?
no, not too much.
Wow.
I remember with Nicky, I can beat him only when I pull it in the hook
Inside. Yeah.
inside, but outside nothing. And with my father, sometime I won, sometime I lost. And another things very very good for me it was every time I did the arm wrestling with my father had very big hand.
Yes, he did.
And when I was in competition, I squeezed the other hand. I felt like a baby hands, no?
Yeah.
This was a very good advantage for me. But yes, no, they don't told to me. Yes, we were super strong. That's why I was shocked about this tournament.
Let's talk about your dad for a minute because basketball's huge in your life. Massive, massive inspiration to you. I know how close you are to your dad, and I know what your dad thinks of you. You could see it from when you were a child. Absolute apple of his eye. Talk to me about your dad's influence on you generally outside of arm wrestling. It's clear that you guys are very close.
Uh, with him, I had a hard moment because I worked with him in a marble cave.
Mm-hmm.
And to work with your father is not very easy.
Very hard.
especially with my father. He have a super hard character on the work.
Yeah.
Uh, and yes, I saw him. He started from a very big family. They with 11 brothers and
11
sisters.
brother. And
11
where was it? Was he the older brother, younger brother?
is in the medium more size, in the middle.
Okay.
And they started to nothing, to zero. They had very poor family, to work very hard in Brescia, is 1 hour from here, in the marble cave with his family. No, not family like parents. His family was here, and uncle with his uncle. He started to do this work. This work is super hard. If you don't born inside with your father, or this work is very difficult to approach this
What
work.
is it? Very manual in nature. You have to cut the marble, I assume.
Yeah,
Wow.
you in the winter, very cold. The rain. You need to work with the rain, and the place is only like a garden. No, don't know the words. The no the garden. This
Like a shed.
yeah,
Outdoor building.
your foot is going down with this.
Okay. Yeah. So
It's very very hard, and the summer very hot,
yeah.
and it's very dangerous this work because if some rocks go down from very height, you can die. And you every time you have everything is very high weight when you work in this place.
So good for building
Trees,
tough
rock,
guys, strong
you need
guys,
to be
laborers.
able,
Hmm.
very very hard. And I worked with him when the summer, when I was in the vacation from the school.
At what age, Hermes?
From when I had 10, 11 years old.
Yeah, I get it. I did the same
Like
with
a
my dad.
military.
Yeah, I did
The
exactly the same
people,
with my
you
dad
don't need
at motor vehicles.
you don't need a military camp. Go with my father if it's better
Yeah.
or better.
Do you think he was doing it on purpose to break you a little, to toughen you up mentally?
Yeah, for sure.
Yeah.
If I have this strong character and mindset, something helped this for sure. A lot, too much. Because if you're born in the family, they give it to you everything, and you don't see the things, the value of the things.
Yes.
It's very difficult when you are alone, like now me. No, I have still my family, but I live alone with my girlfriend.
So your dad was giving you a little reality check. Yeah, life lessons. It's
Yeah,
a good thing in many
all
ways.
my friends they went in the swimming pool, and me in the marble cave all
Yeah,
the summer, every time.
very interesting.
Yes, and I saw him, and he realizes that his life, and we have very beautiful family, very very good, you know, good family with.
I was going to ask how big was your family, but if your dad is one of 11, wow.
Yes, I have a lot cuisine. Too much.
Yes.
Sometimes I don't know who is it.
Many
My
boys.
family is only me, my sister, and my mom and my father.
Tremendous.
My mom competed too. I'm wrestler. I'm wrestling.
Tell us about that.
My mom.
Yeah.
Yeah. He did some tournament
And
when
did she take it seriously? Did she train?
no too much,
Not
but
so much.
he's very strong,
Mhm.
super strong, really. My sister, unbelievable, really. I hope sometime he will start to training. He beat all the men guys, all the men. No very big man, super strong, but
Yeah. Yeah, similar weight.
uh,
So
she did.
what's your first memory of seeing your dad, of seeing Massimo arm wrestle? When can you remember how old you were when because he was arm wrestling when you were a baby, when you were very young. So what's your first memory that you can recall of seeing Massimo arm wrestle?
I have too much memory, my friend. The very beautiful memory when we trained together on my gym. When I was stronger, he tried every time to cheat to beat me.
Ha ha ha.
Yeah, uh, yeah, very beautiful memory. And after this, when he competed, I every time when I was very young, followed him to the competition. And
Mhm.
when he lost, I cried like crazy, super angry every time. Unbelievable, really. Uh, yes, it's very this sport is very big part of my life, really. With
Yeah.
family sport together.
What did
Uh,
you think about your dad's arm wrestling when you were a kid? Because arm wrestling is one of those sports. It can be depending on the child. It can be you can really gravitate towards it. You can really like it, or it can be like, okay, that's a little strange. What was your original thoughts about arm wrestling when you saw your dad? Did you think it was cool?
one
Did you
moment, I
like
show
it?
you one thing.
Okay.
Tell to me if I don't like it.
Oh, mate, that's awesome.
Wrestling.
That's awesome.
You see, already the top row.
Yeah. Yeah, you've lost your riser. Look at that. That's a great
Yeah,
picture. That's
this is
one.
my favorite.
That's great,
This is
Hermes.
my favorite, really.
Huh? Absolutely.
Yeah, I born inside this sport. For me, it was normal, not like to show cioè, in the beginning when I was young, like 15 years old. You want to go the party with your friends. You don't want much training,
Hmm.
but inside, I every time had this passion too much.
That's great.
Mm.
That's awesome. I can see what that means to you. That's really good.
Uh,
How often did you just play around with your dad at home? Did he have you just playing practice when you were very young? Family gatherings or in the evenings on the dinner table? Did he just teach you a little from being a young child?
yeah. Every time when we was on the table on the dinner in my house, it was a good moment to do arm wrestling.
Yeah,
And sometimes he called Schivaloki and other guys to pull together. And yes, it was very beautiful moment. really.
Dino 3343 had just super chatted. They put Bambino Hermes, baby Hermes. Yeah, obviously you can see there that. And just to answer Yuri, no, Massimo is very much alive, mate. Massimo is very much alive. Don't worry, his dad is alive. Massimo, for anybody who doesn't
Yeah,
know,
yeah,
pretty high level
he's
player,
super strong.
very strong man.
He have some pain here, but still super strong because his work, with this equipment.
Yeah, with the
When
jackhammers.
you
Yes.
It's not very good for the joint.
No.
No,
But your dad is I don't know what age your dad started working manually. Maybe with his father as a young boy.
he did 45 years on only in Marble Cave. Only he
Was your
started from his family.
Mhm.
He had the
Yes.
cows,
Yeah. Yeah.
factory.
Hmm.
And when they went back to school, immediately to go for to do milk, the factory.
So his dad, your granddad, was farmer,
Yes. Now he worked
apple farmer,
him too in the Marble Cave, but the second work they have
a dairy farm.
yeah,
Yeah.
not
Wow.
very big, but
But
yeah,
I wonder what age your dad started working there because
I think very very
yeah, for the people in the chat, okay, I was very familiar with Massimo through the peak of his career. He was around the same similar age to me, and he's a powerfully built man, big, thick, powerfully built man, big wrists, big hands, very thick, very heavily structured. Forget gym strength. This is a like a blacksmith, like a manual labor. He just looks powerful. He's got that Ibrahim Sagoff look about him. Just looks like a friggin' man, just brutally built. And yeah, that's the lineage that you see from Hermes. His dad is a very powerful human being. Believe me, very strong guy, mentally and physically.
yeah,
But it's obviously that's a product of his work ethic, upbringing, and working in the marble cave all those years. And it looks like he imparted a lot of that into yourself, mate. At the time, it probably didn't feel great, but I think it's probably done you a lot more favors than you know. Will have done you a
yeah,
lot of good, you know.
yeah, yeah, a lot.
So let's talk about other influences, mate. When you were a kid growing up, it's difficult when you think about, the people in the USA, in the UK. We'll talk about things, and you're looking at the same films, music, the culture is quite similar because of the language. And I often wondered whether you were the same. When you talk about classic movies when you were a child growing up, did you have, Jaws? Did you have Weird Science? Did you have what kind of films did you watch when you were a kid, mate? What kind of thing were you into? What were your favorite? Give me your five
Not very.
favorite
I
movies
don't
growing up.
have very super passion to watch films. Maybe yes, I love too much to see, but I don't remember the names of the films. Of course, Gladiators is one of my best.
Yep,
Uh,
great film, dude. That's a great film.
uh, uh, no, cartoons. I remember when I was very young. Dragon Ball, Dragon Ball.
Yes.
Uh, it was very beautiful. But the films, music, really, I don't had very too much experience about
Not
this.
so much interest in that. You were
Not
more
too
of an
much, really.
outdoor guy.
Yes, yes, I prefer to go outside, to go with my friends
Hmm.
when I was very young.
How many
Now,
did you have a lot of friends when you were growing up, mate? A lot of friends that you hung around with? Were you in a gang of a big group of guys?
no big group. We was in 3, 4 guys, something like that.
And you had similar interests.
And I remember in the beginning, I had some, don't know if they call it bullies.
Yes.
Yeah, little bit. Uh, yeah, I had these times.
Were you one of the smaller children or younger?
Smaller. No, when I
Yeah.
was after zero, I crushed everyone. But yes, in the beginning, when a little bit, I'm in my very young age, in the in the group there are
Yeah.
every time the number one of
Yep. The
they
alpha.
want it.
Yeah.
Yeah, no, yes, little bit this, but they prefer all this guy and these things. I felt a little bit bad, not because I wanted to be number one, but I was every time one of the latest.
Mhm.
The not too much considerate. You understand what I
I
mean?
do. Yes.
Okay. Uh,
You were
this
in the background.
in the
But
background.
yeah.
Now
Not the
opposite. Now
alpha.
opposite.
Yes.
Yeah.
Do you think were you a little shy? Were you a quiet child? Were you confident or were you a little did you lack confidence, do you think, when you were young?
No, I was not confident for one reason. Uh, until 20 years old, maybe more.
Was that because of being bullied when you were young?
Because
Do you think?
something it was from my father. Because I love him too much, but when when you work with him like this, and he don't tell to you, yeah, you are very good, zero appreciation,
Okay.
and he was very hard, very with me. And this, you think I'm not very good to do this,
So it hurt
this,
it impacted your self-esteem a little.
yeah.
Yeah. Okay.
And when I changed the work with him, because I said stop, I want to change the work because I felt bad about this.
Mhm.
I started a new work and same little bit same in the marble but different. And I started to work. I remember, and after 6 months, the 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 boss he told me you are very good, super good guy. You work very well.
Yeah.
And I remember I don't believe it in this because
First time. Yeah.
yeah, yeah, because for these things, uh, now my character is completely different. Too much,
Yeah. It
too
really
much.
is.
The sport helped me too much my life, really.
Yeah. Help you discover the real, yeah,
Yeah.
your true,
Now,
your true
now,
character, your
now
true self.
when I go on the street like this, my eyes every time very high. Never, you feel I'm not in this level with
Yeah.
him. I don't care who I have front of me. Completely confident with myself. No problem, really. Very now changed a lot.
Yeah. That's great. Number one, that's excellent. I mean, it's really genuinely warming to hear that the sport of arm wrestling has given you that, mate, and has assisted
Yeah.
you in that respect. It's helped you to develop. People may think that it's just a physical benefit, the
Mm.
training and the pursuit of the sport.
No, no, mind too much.
Yeah,
Shivaloki
clearly so.
tell to me every time if you want to be in this level, it's not you need to have this the first. you can have all the power, but if you don't have power here, no smart, super difficult.
I think a lot of people will really identify with that, Hermes. I mean, Frantic's just come in with a super chat there. He's put, I know it very
And
well from my younger
my
years. I
father
think a lot of people.
helped me a lot, but you know, every time when there are some things, there are good things and bad things. This is towards only the bad things about self-confidence, something like that.
Yeah, but it probably built a foundation from which you could
Yeah,
go out. There's a lot of, how to say this, there's confidence and there's false confidence, bravado. And sometimes some guys will project confidence, but really it's not there. It crumbles.
no.
And I think the steel that your dad had put into you probably made it so that when you did go forward, when you did move out from underneath that environment, that you had the steel and the resolve to really go forward. And clearly that's what's happened. I want to deviate a little bit from from something you said a moment ago, mate, because I'm very much of one opinion on this. But you spoke to me a second ago about if you don't have this, then you can't go forward in the sport or in any sport the same way. It's not about the physical. With you, do you think that your success has come mostly through your physical prowess, your strength, your natural power? Because you've clearly got that and
Yeah,
clearly
yeah,
at
yeah.
a young age. Or do you
About
think
the
it was more?
genetic, my friend, I started from very high level, too
Yes,
much, super genetic. But you know, every time guys, hey, you are very lucky, you have good genetic. Yes, I prove this. But all my opponents have a good genetic. Laletin, an example, is not he don't have a good genetic. All the guy have a good genetic, but you need to to have your mind same level with your genetic if you want to be in this level.
yes.
Because
Do you feel
you
like
know, arm
the
wrestling is
top
not like
guys?
you need to push only one time. You need to change the technique, and when your plane is not going good, you need to change on the table on the moment. You need to be very fast to remember to prepare all the technique. Is not and you need to have a very hard, very strong mind for to training because every time I go to the gym, it's not. I'm not happy every day. It's sometimes it's very boring to go,
Yeah, hard.
but and
Marble,
and uh,
marble
and they
cave
train and
again.
they train it the way I say. Yeah, and they train in the same time when I work in a marble cave.
Mm.
Now I'm doing only this. But before it was more harder. And when in these days and during this period, I feel I'm not too. I know I don't want to train. I remember in the past when I worked in the marble cave, it was very more much harder.
Yes.
My motivation growing up immediately, and I go immediately to the gym. This you need to remember your sometime your past.
Do you feel like which do you think is stronger? Your genetics, your strength, or your mind? Which do you think is most beneficial for you now as a man?
I think is a
The reason I ask you
50-50.
that, Hermes, is because you said a moment ago all the top guys have great genetics.
Yeah, but if you my friend, if you compare in my category
Mm-hmm.
genetic size, I'm not in his level. I not have the structure like Laletin, like Levan, like
Sure.
Rebaz, like
Because you started
Correa.
as an 85 kilo puller.
Yeah,
Yeah,
they
you know.
they are 2 meters, more than 2 meters,
Yes.
150 kilo, and still I'm competitive with them
Yeah.
because here you need to be smart in the movement. Yeah, I think 50-50 really. For this 50-50.
50-50. Just quickly, guys, anybody that is in the chat, we've got 400 people watching and only 150 likes. If you could hit the like button, hit the subscribe button, it helps the channel a great deal. And also make sure you are subscribed and you like Hermes Gasparini, the Gladiator, tonight's guest. Part 1 tonight of the Hermes Gasparini story. We do hope that everybody in the chat, you're all enjoying it. And we're getting already some great insight into the past of Hermes. I wanted to ask you, mate, do you believe that the recognition that you have now of the importance of mental strength, is that something that was imparted in you, taught to you by your dad, by Nick Skivolocchi, by the other great Italian arm wrestlers that were around at that time? You got some fabulous pullers, guys like Giovanni Nimis, very, very strong, Christian Guatta, many great Italian arm wrestlers over the years, Bruno Emanuel, whoever it may be. Where did you get this? Was it taught to you, or is it something that you discovered from competing in boxing, karate, cycling, football?
You think where is how I made this character in the sport?
Yeah. When did you start to piece together your views on what made a champion?
I think you born with this little bit. Yeah, many things in your life can happen, can change a little bit you, but I saw and I remember when I was very very young. I my competitive emotion was super high. You know, when you want to every time to win in every single things. This I remember I had every time. Yeah, to be competitive. This
You said
helps you a lot.
you were
Because
quiet
if
as a
you
kid.
don't have are competitive and you don't care if you win or you lose, no, it's not good.
You said you were quiet as a kid. Did you have a lot of inner anger? Were you angry at all when you were young? Because you said you used to get emotional if your dad lost, or whenever you did anything, you wanted to win very bad. Was there a lot of fire in you naturally?
No, I don't think it's from this. No, it's usually I'm very happy guy.
Yeah,
I'm not angry. It's very difficult to see me angry. Really,
that's
when
why I
I'm
asked.
angry, really, it's better to go everywhere because I'm crazy, totally
Yeah,
crazy.
really angry.
Too much, too
But you
much. I
never your
don't.
character
I can't see nothing. Only black. Really, too much.
when you
But
when you when you meet you at any competition, you're one of the. Why I asked this question is because you're one of the most jovial guys. You're very, very fun, chilled, relaxed. You never come across as a pensive or angry guy or ever. It's not part of your character. Only sport aggression. You know what I mean? Where it's there on
exactly.
the table, but only there. Never
Yeah.
for anyone who knows you outside or away from the table. You're
Oh,
always having fun, joking, laughing.
much. I love too much to meeting to meet all the guys because I for me it's a very big family, and you know, for me it's beautiful to meet together and to spend a very good time. And
Mhm.
when they're inside, of course, I have the stress about the competition before competition, but it's not really is not my character to be angry for nothing or. Yeah, sometime I have this moment, me too. I'm a human, but no, no, no. It's not my character. It's 99% you can see me loud than angry.
Yeah, very interesting. Ione, thank you for your super chat, mate. Glad that you are enjoying the podcast with Hermes, the Gladiator Gasparini. And you're right, he is absolute quality. and not only when he's on a podcast, mate. This guy's value for money wherever you are. Emmers, I wanted to sort of take you back a little bit into your competition days, early competition days. And you've told us a little bit about your first competition, the fact that you started to do very, very well very early. You also told us earlier in the interview that when you tried other sports, cycling, football, karate, boxing, that you didn't really enjoy them, or they had a short window.
No, I don't really enjoy these sports. Nothing comparable to arm wrestling. Nothing.
And when you first tried arm wrestling at those first competitions, were you already aware that did you know straight away, like, oh yeah, this is it, this is the sport, I love it, or did it
No, but
take
this is from beginning, Neil.
from the beginning?
I never, I don't remember some point. Yes, my sport. I had this passion from
From the
almost
picture?
when I born.
Yeah, from the picture
Yeah.
when you got watching your dad. Amazing.
Yes, of course. When after this you see very good result, your motivation is
Yeah.
higher, uh, and you feel. But I lost many times, me too. But it never happened. Never happened to do to thought yes now I will not pull again or something like that. Never, never.
When you started arm wrestling, were you still doing any other sports, or was it singularly focused on arm wrestling when you did?
When I did the box together arm wrestling, but after when I had 16 years old, but when I had 17, only arm wrestling. From 17, from now, see, from 17 until now, only arm wrestling.
And was you talked about your passion there, obviously, the fact that you loved it as much as you clearly do. At 17, did you think to yourself, right, I'm going to let all other sports go and I'm focusing 100% on this now? This is my thing and I'm in.
Yes, yes, of course, 100%. When after the first competition, the competition before, when I was very super young, 11, 10 years old, 13, 14, it was like a joke. Like, I will do, I can do something. But when I started with really passion and to start to train a little bit from 17 years old, yes.
Was it at that age that you really started to commit to the gym? Because you said you never really went to the gym to train with weights. We know now that you are very powerfully built. That's obviously been a major focus and is a major focus for you. But when you first started, was the balance much more table time, or were you really heavily trying to get strong?
When I had 17 years old, I worked with my father in the marble cave, and when after 10, 11 hours of this work,
You're
it's
finished.
very difficult to to have motivation to training.
Yeah.
When I changed the work at 20, 21, from this I started to do some gym lift
Oh, and
to
what did
start
you
to
do when
train
you
in the
left the
gym.
marble cave?
Ah?
What did you do when you left the marble cave? What was your next employment?
I train a little bit in my home, but
Sorry, for work, buddy. So what did you do when you changed your job? You went from the
yeah,
marble cave
yeah.
and
When I change it and I started to do, I worked still on the marble, but
Okay.
different,
But a different area.
much easier than the
Right.
Marrakech.
Okay, I
Much
understand.
easier. 80 hours, I was only 2 minutes from my home.
Hmm.
Don't it was not very with manual work
Yeah.
too much. And these things I saw very super improvement after I started to train in the gym. Too much.
Who were your favorite Italian arm wrestlers, Hermes? Because obviously you got a great trainer in Nick the Quick, but
The
there are a lot of
first,
great arm
of
wrestlers
course,
there.
is my father.
Hmm.
Second, Nicola. His style I love it too much, and that's why I start to train with him.
Let me mention a few names, and you tell me what you think of these guys. So we're gonna go weird. Let's go with Caligaro first of all. Well, the grand.
Caligaro was very big opponent of my father.
Yeah,
Yeah.
that's why I went there first. Because yeah, really.
Yeah. I remember.
Do you remember Carmelo Messina
No, I never saw him.
before your time? Okay.
Mm.
Davide Bertoli.
Bertoli.
Mm.
It was my first trainer with my father in the very beginning.
Really? Ah, the
Yeah.
slick
He's a
son of
little bit crazy guy.
a. Yeah, Bertoli was a good dude. Yeah.
He loved to dance.
Yes,
Yeah,
he did. He was a good dude.
very, very, very good guy.
Kivalocki was obviously probably the best lightweight in the country right then.
Yeah,
He
of
was
course.
very high level. He was a killer. You have let's talk about Giovanni Nimis, John Nimis.
I respect him too much, really. Too much. I remember him, his uh, brother Fabio
Fabio,
Nimis
yeah.
when I started, and Lamparelli, Circana Daniele.
I was going to mention
Uh,
Daniel Cicada.
I remember
What
this
a
guy
strong man,
was
Cicada.
very strong. They were
Yes.
already in the beginning. It was my goal to beat this guy
Yep.
in the very beginning. Uh, yeah, no, Nimis, he had a very good result in Nemiroff. He was third place. Uh, he won, I don't know, many Italian championship.
Oh yeah.
Mm.
He was very popular. I pulled Nimis in Supermatch Italia. I came on
Ah,
1-to-1 super match there.
who won?
Well, I won, but that doesn't matter so much. What was great was that how popular he was. I felt like I always felt like Italy was like a second home for me
Ah,
because so many friends there.
yeah, Marisa told me many times, Nicola.
Oh, mate, I loved Italy. I loved the food. I loved the people. I love the scenery is beautiful. I mean, my God, do you know what's really nice? My first World Championship in was it in Italy in La Corregada, and the area, the place. My God, it
Ah,
it was
Vittoriale,
mate, it was beautiful.
Gardone
Oh
Oliveira, with
yeah,
the red seat,
yes,
with the airplane.
stunning place. Oh, the restaurants there. I wish I could remember the name of the restaurants. My God! After the final of the Worlds, I went out for a meal with my wife. I don't know whether I've ever had any better food. It was phenomenal. The wine
Quality,
was
my friend.
amazing. The food was amazing. The culture was amazing. I absolutely loved it. It was always
Here in Italy, really, we have everything. The mountain, sea, amazing. A mountain, amazing food.
yes.
The story of Italy is unbelievable.
And
If
the
you go to
culture
Rome,
is unbelievable.
unbelievable.
I love the sort of that night. There's the outside dining.
You
Oh
never been in Rome?
well, yes. Mate, I love Italy. I've been to Italy so many times. I absolutely
Much.
immense.
Yeah, very, very super amazing country. It's very when you go somewhere in some place in the world, it's very difficult to. Of course, for the food, for me, it's very hard to find some food almost same in Italy. It's almost impossible, but very hard.
I'm going to say you got pretty bloody good food in Italy, mate. I'm not.
Yeah.
You're up there. I got asked this question the other day, and I tell you, it's hard to say anything bad about the food. It's bloody great. You remember Giorgio Auriello?
Lielo.
I love
He's
the
very good friends with Michael Todd.
Yes, he was.
But sometime I see him, and the next time we see him again is 10 years. I don't know.
Mate, he was wonderful to all the international arm wrestlers when you came over.
Yeah.
He had a family restaurant, and that restaurant in Brescia, my God, it was wonderful. He took all the arm wrestlers, myself, John, Michael. We went there. That's where myself and Michael pulled the 100 first to 100 super match left-handed.
Ah.
Yeah, that day.
Oh.
There. It was phenomenal, mate. That place, oh my God. Incredible restaurant, very
Really.
family feel, very family feel.
This place is special.
And, oh my God, I absolutely,
Yeah.
I could live there in a
When you
heartbeat.
find some place like this is special.
Beautiful, mate.
Nice.
It was. So let's just knock over a couple of super chats real quick, and then we'll get back into it. John Augustine, and he's put Hermes, my friend. I'm feeling a little sad today, but maybe if you show me your bicep, I will feel better. Oh,
Guys, don't worry about these things, but is everything okay? Is good or not?
look at that! Whoa, let's get up, man.
I feel good with cappings.
Yeah, it's supposed to have a lot of. I've never
Yeah.
done it, never done it, but I heard.
No?
Never done it, mate. Heard a lot of good,
I
good
feel
things.
good, really.
Music guys just said that you won't even feel Levan Saganashvili. My God, that would be something, mate. That would be something. Dino3343, thanks for your super chats. But Italy has beautiful sea with Croatia. Yeah, Croatia is always also a stunning country, mate. But yeah, Italy's got a very special place in my heart. The disturbingly titled Deep Inside Hermes. We get some characters on our show, mate. Let's put Hermes. Levan is terrified of you and Brian Shaw. Levan is a 400-pound crybaby. Do you think Levan will pull out of the match because he's scared?
I don't think.
You don't think that he's scared, and I don't think that he's going to pull out.
Very
Hermes
funny
Gasparini
question.
has just come in with a super chat. Thanks for your super chat. But Hermes is going to F that Georgian pussy. Neil, you are looking on the new camera. Guys, check out the new camera. Check it out. One of the massive improvements that's coming down the track. Ione, thanks for your super chat. Neil, invite Hermes every time so you can have this much quality, my friend, on your webcam. They're loving you, mate. Loving you. And remember, guys, this is part one of the Hermes Gasparini story. Not going to keep Hermes too late tonight because we're going to break this down into separate individual parts. But outside, I wanted to go back to that. So outside of your dad, you would say that your favorite Italian arm wrestler is probably Nick the Quick, yeah? That's your guy.
Exactly.
What do you think about the Pitbull, Christian Guatta? Tell me about him.
Guatta, I remember with left, he was he was the best. I don't remember. He won. I don't know how many absolute category in Italy. Right hand, he had some very good fight with my father. I remember. Sometimes won my father, sometimes him. And yeah, he was super champion. He's a legend from Italy.
So tell me
Really.
about Frank Lamparelli.
Lamparelli is the strongest guy in the Italy. Uh, and for me, it was very good inspiration to improve myself
Yes.
because really it was my hardest opponent.
Hmm.
Without him, I think my improvement was not too much like in the past. I mean, because his hand, his pronation, super strong,
Yeah.
and sometime I won, sometime he won. With him, every time, when I went in the competition, I don't knew if I won this fight with him or it was very every time 50-50 really.
Was he was your main competition because you had, I mean, Nimis was there. You had Edmir Farocco, who was also strong, doing very well when you were a
Yeah, but
young man.
Feroku I had only one time, but I won, but he was not in his prime. It was before then I started to compete and
Hmm.
seriously. And Nimis pulled him with left, right hand never, never.
Did you pull with Davide Kappa?
Yes. Amazing side pressure.
Big,
Believe.
big, big man. Yeah, big man.
They told me he don't train it nothing. He have very big hand. He have one of the best genetic in Italy. So for
Yeah,
sure.
really big, powerful dude, mate.
Yeah.
Big, powerful dude. And there were many from Italy.
Many other guys. Uh, yeah, Fabio Nimis with the
Yeah, yeah.
left, super
Italy left.
amazing strong. And now who competed? Manuel Battaglia.
Yeah, Battaglia is. I want to say he's in this next event. I think he's pulling in
Yeah,
the.
Bottolato left.
Yes, there you go. Mm. Fagner
Uh,
Portalato and Battaglia, and we saw him pull with Sandra Sheris. He's strong.
yeah, super strong. He need to maybe learn more, little bit more with technique, but he have very good power.
Yes.
Yeah, too much.
So let's talk.
Let's
Let's go back to you, mate, and talk about some of your because let's do a little dateline check. When you were, uh, let's say, when you started taking it very seriously, when you were 20 years old. At that time, not a huge amount of stuff on. There was no YouTube and influencers. And who was your biggest inspirations, and how much did you know about international arm wrestlers? Did you know any international arm wrestlers? Did people in Italy talk about guys from the USA, guys from Switzerland, guys from Germany, England, Georgia?
for me, John Brasink, it was and it is and it will be my favorite forever.
Why?
Because really his technique and his ability on the table for me is like to see art, art.
Yes.
Uh, and this is amazing because when you see someone pull like me, I will pull with some hooker, and he's not your strongest part. He won with the opponent in his strongest technique.
Yep.
It was unbelievable. Yes, him it was one of my best favorite arm wrestler for sure, and his character too, confident, calm.
Yeah. Very
You know,
calm. Had it all, didn't he?
after him, I don't know. After him,
Hmm.
Rustam is was one of my best favorite before I pulled it with him. And another guy, I saw many videos, remember with the three guys, Voivoda. It was one of my favorite.
Mhm.
But yes, for sure, John is the best for me.
He was the guy that was the biggest inspiration.
Yeah, yeah.
I mean,
But not a big inspiration. Say, yes, I saw him in the video, something like that, but my inspiration is from me. Maybe I don't explain too well.
yeah, you didn't
I
need
don't
too
need
many.
someone to see and to have inspiration.
I understand. It was coming from within
For
you.
me inside, I want to be number one, and that's it. I don't
Sure.
need someone give me inspiration.
Makes
This-
a great deal of sense, mate. It keeps
yeah.
you, like you say, it's the reason why you're very driven. The reason why you can get up all those days in the marble cave. Yeah,
Uh,
makes a hell of a difference, mate. I'm trying to think of a natural exit point for this because we've been on for nearly an hour and 15 minutes, and I want to move on in segments. So each time we do one of these interviews, I want it to be a very specific element within your career. And for me, the natural progression is going to be when you started to dominate in Italy. And so I'd like to sort of finish this first part by at what age did you feel like in Italy that you were becoming, or at what age did you recognize that you were a special one, that you were the guy, like Pascal had predicted? When did you start to feel like, okay, I'm not the ordinary guy. I'm unique. I'm different to the rest of these guys.
Started to feel this after Switzerland. I competed in Italy, and I was 17 years old, 80 kilo,
Mm-hmm.
85, very small guy. And I pulled juniors and I won super easily, like nothing. I did seniors
Yep.
easily, like nothing, same this. Uh, the people was crazy, too much. Skioloki, he went the first time to see me in the competition. He drove for 5 hours to see only me. And in absolute competition, I almost won one time with Giovanni Nimis. Yeah, I put it down, and I won other matches in practice. After pool, I pulled very well. Lamparelli,
Yep.
people was shocked. Everyone shocked, me too. And from this, I saw myself very super good genetic ability in the top row. Yeah, from the in my life, I saw two times this to see the next level. This the beginning, and the second time, maybe the people I don't care, it's only practice, but for me it was super important
You know what
when
you're
I
going to say?
pulled with Vitali in
The lesson.
Dubai.
I remember the video.
This proved to me I can do I can go for number one
Mm.
after this. Yeah, there's two times very big point for me. Too much.
Mm. Yeah, it's interesting, isn't it? When you get times like that in your life where it's like a light bulb goes on and you think, "Oh my God, what's possible? Why not me?
Yeah.
What can I do? You know, what can I
Yeah,
do?"
after this, I had very super big emotion to win World Championship, International, Italian Championship, everything. But really, and same when I won the World Championship, Junior 21, I won like zero problem, super easily. After
What year
this, I
was your
had
first
many
Italian?
competition.
What year was the first Italian championship win? And how old were you then?
I was 17 years old. This first, it was
First
my
Italian
first.
national,
Yeah,
17. In what class?
80 kilo juniores and the senior.
And that was both arms or one arm? Because you were very
Both,
good with left.
both arms.
Yeah.
Juniores and the senior. Yeah.
Mm.
Is 15 years ago.
Yeah, not bad for a skinny kid, eh?
Skinny kid.
Skinny kid. You got to watch those skinny kids, man. They're strong. Skinny kids are badasses.
Yeah.
There is no doubt about it. So,
I remember Fabio Nimis. He where he touches my arm. How this arm can be strong like this, powerful like this?
yeah.
Impossible. It's super small. He continued to told me.
But you have genetics, you have the steel cables.
Yeah.
Mm.
Yeah, but I remember at the 15 years old like this on the bicep I was already super strong. I did with the 30, 35 kilo repetition. Really.
At what age you were doing that?
15 and 16.
Yeah, very strong.
Without training, without training.
Yeah, you just came in and could do it.
Yeah.
Yeah, very strong.
This for sure.
30 kilo for a 15-year-old boy is monstrously strong.
Yeah. These, of course, now if you see my arm strength is the best of my technique.
Mhm.
Back pressure, something. These things help me like crazy with these monsters.
You spoke about the fact that your bicep was very strong. When you first started arm wrestling, because you had from a baby, like we saw on the picture, your dad had you top roll.
And the hand too. The hand wrist in the beginning.
Was very strong.
Super.
Yeah.
Yeah.
And did you feel very natural in the top roll? Did it feel right? Did it feel good, naturally easy for you to adapt?
Super easy.
Yeah.
Like to walk. Same.
When you were playing football, was your game, were you a skillful player? Did you have a lot of skill? Or were you more of a hard tackler or a runner? What was your
It was very hard. With box too. Arm wrestling it was like to walk really.
did you find boxing hard?
Super easily. And remember Nicola, he told me, hey, you can do this. And in the competition, I did after 1 hour same technique that he told me.
Yeah.
Yes, on the table, really, I feel like I'm in my house.
Silky smooth.
Yeah, too much.
Yeah.
Ability here, position. I feel super comfortable. I don't need to think now. I do this. No, nothing like that.
Yeah. And in other sports, you had felt you needed to think. So when
Yeah,
you were boxing, combinations you had to think. Wasn't
yeah.
easy.
And really about sports, I can adapt myself very well. Like ski, ski in the mountain.
Yeah.
I learn only to myself. I never did lesson from teacher or only to continue. And now I'm not professional, but I can go very fast.
Mhm.
And yes, for if something I love, I have a lot of attention. I learn very fast. If you see English too, you remember to I started 3 years ago, and
Yeah.
many times I didn't understand you nothing because your accent is different than
Yeah, my action is so
USA. And now we are
perfect.
doing a 1 hour and a half interview.
Yeah. And your English is
No,
Your,
no, no, very
your
good,
English is
but
great, Hermes. Your vocabulary is very wide. Really, it's very wide. When I've noticed that, I don't worry about using more obscure words with you because I know you've got a really wide vocabulary. I listen to you when we're at competitions, and you know a great deal now. You got a really good.
and I think all the athletes need to learn English
Mm.
because to see every time translator and is a little bit boring. The people love to see the athlete speak directly with them.
Yes, they do.
This is very more effective, and you can express your emotion a lot better.
How much you've changed since the quiet guy when you were a kid. Now you're nothing. There's nothing quiet now. Not at
No,
all. Mm. You learned arm wrestling helped you discover who you really are, mate, and that's fascinating. Before I let you go for this first part, I want to just knock over some super chats that we've had in, and then I'll let you get on with your evening, and we'll schedule myself before Hermes leaves. We'll schedule a second date, and I'll let everybody know when that is. So let's have a look. Udip to be. Thank you for your super chat, mate. He's just bought. Let's have a look. Go on scale and Hermes pops up. Grande. Thank you for your super chat, mate. Let's have a look what else we got here. Arm fellas. So this is probably the Dragon Ball stuff. So Vegeta, Goku, or Broly? Hermes, who's your favorite?
Goku, of course.
Of course, the smart people. Oh,
Yeah.
it is. Uh, let's have a look here. Juane, thank you for your super chat, mate. He's put my friend, quality. Now let's put it. Francesco Bernali is a legend.
Francesco?
Francesco Bernali. Hopefully, I'm not murdering the name there. If you let's have a look. Can you see back in the super chat pot? I would show you on my super quality camera. Let's see if that picks it up.
Bernoulli. I don't know who is it.
Francesco Bernali. There you go. He's a legend, apparently. No idea.
Really?
Yeah.
I'm sorry, but I don't know.
So it is. Don't know. Let's have a look. I think we've covered off deep inside Hermes. Pretty dodgy. Here we go. Um, it's for me. What's the tougher task? Someone beating Lavan or someone lifting a 505 kilo deadlift? They're both monumentally difficult in different fields, mate.
Yeah.
But I have a feeling that if you ask Hermes, he'd probably tell you 505 kilo
Yeah.
deadlift. But he's going to kick Lavan's ass. But let's be honest, Lavan Saganashvili is mega. I mean, make no mistake about it, everybody in the chat. Lavan is mega. He's a very, very high, which will underline if Hermes is able to beat him in June, will underline where Hermes's level is now. And you know how confidence is from all the recent interviews that Hermes has done, the difference in his training since what happened with Devon Lara, his focus, the detail, the approach changed dramatically, and I know that you're very confident right now, Hermes. You feel like you can do something this time.
Yes, I'm not confident like I will win for sure 100%. But if you know to lose, it's better to stay at home.
Exactly, mate.
The
Everybody
match,
wins.
but
Everybody
I'm
loses.
not convinced myself to have this mentality
Mm-hmm.
for sure. I know I have the cards
Yeah.
to win. I know I can do something, and I don't want to, I know, and I think something will happen. That's it. I will see.
And I want to ask you
It's
one question
impossible to
before we.
tell with Leva I will win for sure. I will crush you like this.
No,
Impossible.
no, you feel like it's
Crazy if you say something
sure.
like this.
It's a tough match, and I know you
He
appreciate it.
told to me he will crush me like nothing, and I will prove it's not. He will can't. But yes, for my part, I can say something will happen, and it will be a good fight. That's it.
And remember, guys, in the chat, this is part one. We're not talking about the Laban encounter in detail on this one, but before the match happens, we will definitely do that. Kishnish or Kisnish, thank you for your super chats. But can you please ask Hermes where is his knuckle? The world needs to know. Seriously, though, you are a warrior who'll show the world Lavan isn't a god. So you got a lot of believers in the chat, mate. You got a lot of believers. How does that make you feel, knowing that you're becoming increasingly popular, Hermes? Which you clearly are, mate. You're getting a great deal of popularity, and a lot of people. Obviously, people are going to believe in you because of what happened the last time yourself and Lavan met. But without going into the match, how does it make you feel knowing that so many people, so many new fans of the sport, are massive fans of the gladiator Hermes Gasparini?
This helped me a lot, really, because sometimes your mind is not every time positive, and you are something like this. And when you see I receive a lot message every time, every day, and I can respond to everyone because I need to stay here an hour. But yes, this message, these guys really helped me a lot to have more motivation and to do the impossible.
Yeah, to do the impossible. Very interesting. Interesting.
Yeah.
I want to ask you one more question on that, mate. Let's say it didn't work out for you. Do you believe that right now this is like your final form going into this, or are you getting better? You can continue to get better.
Yeah. I started to do a wrestling professional career from 3 years ago, 2021. Yes, 4 years.
Mhm.
I think I can still improve it a lot. I'm 31, 32 years old. I have a lot of time to improve myself. If you see Devon, other guys, they still continue to improve at 50.
Yeah.
You can how I can improve myself at 31. I'm very young still.
Yes, you are.
Yeah.
And you will get better, in my opinion. I wanted to know what you thought.
Important and is to see the weakness, to be very smart, to training with very smart mind, and the first thing is to be healthy. Without healthy, you can do nothing.
Mhm. Yeah, that is a very key point. You got to remain healthy. Injuries are the killer. They really are. It's a hard sport. Material battle. Dino 3343, give Lavan Fanta. Uh, yeah, we get him. Rail 7, thank you for your super chat, mate. Hermes, good luck with the match. Rooting for you. What do you think of Igina and his potential future in the sport? Can he currently beat Orden?
Igina is very young guy. He did very well in the World Championship, a junior, and he need the experience. He need the experience to compete more, but for sure he's very good potential. It's difficult to say he will be
How
because
good? Yeah.
because in Italy now when they see some new guy, they start to tell to say this is new Hermes Gasparini, no? But it's not good for this guy because you put too much pressure
Pressure.
on him, and when he lose, the people start, no, And he needed to work in his way, to be calm, to find his way, and
Yeah.
that's it.
A chance to slowly
Because
mature and progress.
if I show me, uh, really I was super like alien, from Italy about the genetic, about the result, everything. Uh, yes, I think all the guys can do something. The most important thing is not to see other guys and to tell. Yes, sometimes yes, but you need to have your goal, your result,
Yeah.
your goal.
Yes.
My goal is to be number one. Maybe for another guy is to be Italian champion.
Realistic steps.
Realistic.
Yes.
And wait, you see with the time, and after this, you can see what is better to do.
Hermes, I have really enjoyed this, mate. I really enjoyed this. The
Me
first
too,
part.
my friend. Very super interesting interview. I never did this, and I think the people love this interview
Yeah, I
and
think
these
they will.
things because these things nobody know. Yesterday saw hanging interview from hanging
Mm-hmm.
5 years ago, and
Yeah.
some things I never knew, and now it's beautiful to see the story of the athletes. Really, too much.
It was one of my favorite features, mate, and I'm going to bring it back big time. So we're going to do a lot more with the deep inside the mind stuff because people have been asking about it. They want us to do more, so we're going to do that. We're going to do a little more in that regard. Obviously, from your perspective, we'll stay on when we finish the show, and we'll look at the diary and when it works for us to do another one for you. We'll get a few done, and the next stage will be Hermes breaking into international career, and we'll do a lot about that, and then we'll move on to the more recent stuff and arm wrestling today. But I hope everybody in the chat has enjoyed this first part and finding out a little bit more about the Gladiator. Thank you, everybody, for tuning in and checking out the show. Remember, if you're not following and subscribe to Hermes Gasparini, please get over there, show this guy some love. He's one of the most exciting, one of the most talented, one of the most endearing arm wrestlers in the world at any weight class. And as you've heard tonight, arm wrestling has been a massive part of Hermes' life from being a kid. If you didn't join when he was showing us his photographs earlier on, please go back, watch the show. For anybody that is in the chat, please hit that like button. I think we've got nearly 400 people still in there. Give us a like, guys. Hit that subscribe button, share, let people see this, and let people find out a little bit more about Hermes Gasparini. This has been part one of Deep Inside the Mind of the Gladiator. We will be back very soon with part two. Keep your eyes on the channel. Subscribe to Supernatural Strength. Get that notification. We will be sending out part two very, very soon. And then we'll follow swiftly on the heels of that with part three also. But Hermes, thank you, mate.
Thank you too, my friend.
Pass on my best to your dad as always and the whole family, mate. It's been genuinely lovely to catch up with you, fella. It has. We'll for everybody in the chat, we're going to call it a day there. We will see you again very soon. Take it easy, everybody in the chat. We'll see you guys soon, and keep your eyes out for part two, part three. I'll stay on the line offline with Hermes, and we'll set that up now so I can let you guys know when it will be. Until we see you next time. Thanks for tuning in, everybody. Biggity bong, mother fluffers. Bye-bye.